Welcome to North Somerset Council. This short video has been created to help you understand who the people in the contracts and commissioning team are, and what they do within the council. We will also introduce you to the team and explain their specific roles. Let's begin. What and who are the contracts and commissioning team? Let's start with what this actually means. Commissioning. Commissioning is the process of assessing needs, planning and prioritizing, purchasing, and monitoring health services. It involves looking at what a person needs, planning on how they will get this, prioritizing which is the most important aspect of their care, then sourcing and finding the right service that can do all this for the person. Then we monitor this service to ensure they are doing what they said they could in supporting the needs of the individual. Contract. A contract is an agreement that specifies certain legally enforceable rights and obligations concerning two or more mutually agreeing parties. This would usually be concerning employment, sales, or tenancy, and is intended to be enforceable by law. In this case, it is a written agreement between North Somerset and the provider that is supporting the individual. It will lay out what North Somerset expect from them and what they can expect from North Somerset. This will be a legally binding document. The team is responsible for commissioning services that meet health and social care needs across all specialist services. This can include elderly care, nursing care, mental health, supporting learning disabilities, autism, and young adults with disabilities. We provide contract management across a range of adult care and support services, including independent care services, voluntary sector, and housing with support. We work closely with quality monitoring and safeguarding teams to ensure service providers are sticking to their contract. Quality monitoring are the team of people that go out to the services to report on what they find, and the safeguarding team ensure that all matters of safeguarding are actioned and dealt with safely and swiftly. Where does contracts and commissioning sit within the council? Jo Walker is the Chief Executive Officer for the council. She then has 5 areas below her: public health and regulatory services, place, corporate services, children's services, and adult social services. Contracts and commissioning sits under Hayley Verico in adult social services. Under Hayley is Gerald Hunt, who is the Assistant Director, Commissioning, Partnerships and Housing. So you can see from his title that he oversees 3 areas: housing solutions, service development, and strategy and commissioning. The contracts and commissioning team sit under Teresa Stanley in strategy and commissioning. We know this is a lot to take in. Don't worry. You can always revisit this later if you wish. Let's break down our team and what we all do. Teresa Stanley is the head of strategy and commissioning. Teresa oversees the contracts and commissioning team in leading and directing the delivery of services for adults who have health and social care needs. Teresa is responsible for ensuring that the council meets its statutory obligations in relation to the quality and range of housing with support options, as well as the provision of high-quality, cost-effective commission services. This includes the development of partnership working with a wide range of organisations, including health partners, voluntary, community, and social enterprises. Teresa ensures effective implementation of policies and procedures in order that services are delivered to in line with legislation and council policies. Teresa also contributes to the strategic leadership of the Adult Social Services Directorate, in addition to regional and local activities, such as the Association of Directors of Adult Social Services Working Groups. Teresa Maguire is the Contracts and Commissioning Team Manager. Teresa manages and oversees a small team of staff who lead on their own areas of work to ensure that the team objectives are met each year. This is in line with commissioning services that meet health and social care needs. Teresa works closely with the quality monitoring and safeguarding teams to ensure service providers are adhering to their contracts. Teresa and the team are also engaged with Bristol, North Somerset and South Gloucester, and national commissioners and multi-agency groups. Teresa's team is responsible for ensuring the Commission services meet legislation, including the Care Act 2014, which is the law for bringing together social care, and support. Teresa Stanley is the head of strategy and commissioning, and Teresa Maguire is the contracts and commissioning team manager. Both work together and complement each other in overseeing the team. The contracts and commissioning team. Let's start with the 4 areas that we commission. Each area has an officer for that particular area. We have Elizabeth, Michelle, Estelle, and Rob. These people oversee the following: specialist services, domiciliary care or dom care, care homes and accommodation with support. Let's have a closer look at Estelle's role. Estelle is a contracts and commissioning officer, with her key areas being the care homes and the voluntary sector. She oversees the contract management of these areas, including any monitoring or issues as and when they arise. This is to ensure they are meeting their contractual agreements. This includes renewal of contracts and, in the voluntary sector, quarterly contract meetings with the providers to ensure they are meeting their key performance indicators. KPIs. KPIs help investors determine a company's strategic, operational and financial achievements, particularly compared to other companies in the same sector. Estelle currently oversees 92 care homes and 16 voluntary sector organizations. Estelle also covers all the client groups for the care homes, including mental health and learning disabilities. Estelle is responsible for the block bed contracts that we have in North Somerset. There are 5 homes, with 82 beds in total, and Pathway 2 and Pathway 3 beds, which are short-term health-funded beds for those service users being discharged from hospital, whilst ongoing care is explored or decided. There are 6 homes with 44 beds in total. In regards to the voluntary sector, Estelle oversees a wide range of organizations offering different services, from sensory impairments, carers, financial benefit support, housing, dementia, mental health advocacy, and learning disabilities. This can be direct support in the community or through groups. Let's have a closer look at what Michelle does. The people that Michelle supports can have a range of disorders and disabilities, including, but not exclusively, physical disabilities and/or sensory impairments, learning disabilities, mental health disorders, acquired brain injury, autistic people and young adults on their pathway to adulthood. Some of the voluntary organizations that Michelle deals with can support older people or someone with a disability, someone fleeing or experiencing domestic abuse, as well as people that the council has a statutory duty to provide advocacy. Michelle's role is very similar to Estelle's, but Michelle's key areas are the specialist services. She too oversees the contract management of these areas, including any monitoring or issues as and when they arise, to ensure they are meeting their contractual agreements. Let's have a look at Elizabeth's role. As with Estelle and Michelle, Elizabeth's role is also to oversee the contract management and monitoring of issues as and when they occur, in the same way Estelle and Michelle do. But Elizabeth's role as a contracts and commissioning officer is, with domiciliary care or dom care as it's often referred to as. Elizabeth oversees adults with various requirements including hearing impairments, people who are deaf or hard of hearing, severe visual impairments, mental health issues, dementia and associated conditions, physical impairments, HIV infection and AIDS, misuse of alcohol and drugs, and end-of-life care. Rob is the accommodation change manager and is responsible for the development of new accommodation with support for people with learning disabilities or mental health issues and extra care housing. Extra care housing is usually blocks of flats for people over 55 with a carer provider on site. Rob oversees the supported accommodation, which is temporary housing with support for people who are at risk of homelessness or need support to learn how to manage their tenancies. Rob also works with other members of the team to support existing supported living services and extra care housing services. Rob oversees 6 extra care schemes and 32 supported living schemes. These are for people with learning disabilities and/or autism, adults over 55 who have Care Act eligible needs, and people who are experiencing poor mental health. This role very much relies on being able to develop relationships with a number of people and organizations, from colleagues in housing, benefits planning, adult social care teams, developers, care providers, parents, and most importantly, the people who use the accommodation. Rob says you will end up supporting people with things completely outside of your responsibility or field of expertise, but it's part of what makes the job so satisfying. Emma is the accommodation change officer, and her role is to manage the waiting lists for supported living and extra care housing. Emma has to be aware of all the schemes and voids and will make referrals into the relevant scheme from her waiting list when a vacancy becomes available. She also supports Rob with any new supported living projects and extra care housing. Emma also oversees 6 extra care schemes and 32 supported living schemes. Emma supports people with physical disabilities and/or sensory impairments, learning disabilities, mental health disorders, acquired brain injuries, and autistic people. Lee is the Learning and Development Officer within the Contracts and Commissioning team. Lee's role is to support the providers that we commission with their training needs. This can be mandatory, statutory, or service-specific training. Mandatory or statutory training can be training such as moving and handling, safeguarding adults, deprivation of liberty safeguards, first aid, and mental capacity. Also training that is more specific to the individual providers, such as acquired brain injury, dementia, diabetes, autism, and epilepsy. Lee is also developing a North Somerset Care Academy. This will serve as a platform to encourage new people into the care sector and provide a central place for staff and providers to access material and training. Additionally, Lee has created and is continually working on a North Somerset Learning Directory. The Learning Directory is full of training, information, and resources that the providers of North Somerset can access, making it a one-stop shop for their training needs. Lee's role is helping to ensure quality care is provided in the community. Poppy is the Proud to Care lead within the Contracts and Commissioning team. Part of Poppy's role is to raise awareness of adult social care jobs. Have you ever considered a career in adult social care? It's a sector that needs more workers, and that need is only going to increase. The need for more workers. The shortfall in the adult care workforce is a real issue. In March 2022, there were 165,000 vacancies in the adult social care sector in England alone. Different types of care. There are many different types of care within the sector, from nursing and residential care for older persons, to domiciliary care and supported living. Raising awareness of jobs. We need to raise awareness of the jobs available in adult social care. That is why the Proud to Care initiative was created. Poppy's role as Proud to Care project lead is to connect with people and improve recruitment. We need to improve the profile of the sector and change existing negative views. Join us in making a difference in adult social care today. Charlotte is the Strategy and Policy Development Officer within the Contracts and Commissioning team. The main focus of this post is to write an overarching commissioning strategy and update our market position statement for social care and support services for adults who have care and support needs in North Somerset. The strategy will set out what we will do for the next 7 years, in relation to what services we will commission to be delivered. The MPs will tell providers or the market what we need, so we can work together to meet that need for adult social care and support in North Somerset. Charlotte also sits on boards where they look at strategies and policies in our directorate, and the pathway to adulthood for young people transitioning from children's to adult social care and support services. The main piece of legislation for Charlotte's work area is the Care Act 2014. Adult Social Services works in partnership with many other organisations in North Somerset, but also across the South West as a wider group. Partners include health, integrated care partnership, statutory and voluntary, community and faith-based organisations, as well as carers and people with lived experience. The Council do not deliver all the different services in-house, which is why we commission providers with expertise to meet our population's social care and support needs. Sophia's role is to support the team and coordinate activities. She monitors and maintains the adult social care inbox and the email distribution list. Sophia sends out communications on behalf of the Council to providers or provider groups. It's important to ensure timely communication and keep everyone in the loop. Sophia also arranges meetings both internally and externally. Sophia takes minutes of those meetings for the team. Beyond her regular tasks, Sophia supports other officers with their projects. Sophia ensures the smooth running of operations. She also runs various reports, both weekly and monthly, for Elizabeth, Gerald, and Teresa. This helps them make informed decisions and plan ahead. So that is a day in the life of Sophia, our contracts and commissioning support coordinator. It may seem like a small role, but it's essential for the smooth running of operations. How our service is accessed. All commissioned services will have eligibility criteria and routes for access to them. The voluntary sector will also have criteria and routes for access. Most will accept direct referrals from users and families, as well as from professionals within the Council and other external organisations. The Council's brokerage team will make referrals for adult social care, health and joint funded packages of care and support and placements, whilst care homes, daycare and domiciliary providers will receive referrals directly from self-funders and direct payment users. The brokerage team are responsible for commissioning services for all vulnerable adults that are funded by the Integrated Care Board, ICB, and North Somerset Council. They assist and support the hospitals for quick and appropriate discharges. They manage and support the hospitals with patient update calls daily. The brokerage team also report on Bristol, North Somerset, and South Gloucestershire, also known as BNSSG. The Clinical Commissioning Group, CCG, block beds, and domiciliary care usage. Our commitments for 2024 and 2025. We will increase the number of units for specialist and supported housing. We will continue to implement and review the outcomes achieved by the complex care framework. We will progress the development of the Care Academy for North Somerset. We will continue to support providers with their ongoing recruitment and retention initiatives and raising the profile of social care as a career. We will explore appropriate care home models in delivering specialist learning disabilities and mental health provision, responding to the demands of the local area. We will embed, implement and deliver the new support to live at home models in One Weston, Woodspring and Whirl. We will continue to monitor and review the success of the Falls project and impact on hospital admissions and reduction in South West Ambulance Service call-outs. We will finalise consultation and implement our new care homes contract, implement the market position statement, and review and develop other commissioning-related strategies. We will achieve a positive outcome under the Care Quality Commission inspection framework, evidencing our strengths and development plans. We will get better at how we communicate, inform, consult, engage, and co-produce with our communities. That concludes your quick tour of the contracts and commissioning team, with a brief introduction to each team member and an explanation of what they do. If you have any questions, you can contact any of the team via the ASC inbox at asc.contractsandcommissioningteam@n-c somerset.gov.uk. Thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoy your time with us at North Somerset Council.